Hey guys, what's up? Unrested here, and I'm finally settled in my new house. So, I thought I'd go ahead and keep my promise and give you a full tour of my brand new place. So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, well, let's go ahead and start this off. And the first place you would enter into any house or apartment, and that is the genkan. As you can see here behind me, the genkan is pretty much Japanese for foyer. Okay, that's where you enter into the house. If there was possibly stairs, you might see them there. But the most notable trait is over here, which is the shoe holder. Okay, let's take a look at that. Lucky for you YouTube viewers, my genkan shoe holder has a mirror so you can continue to stare at Mr. Handsome. And in here, I'll go ahead and just give you a look of what your typical genkan shoe holder looks like. There you are, my sets of shoes. Okay, we keep them all in here. My size is a little bit bigger than my wife's size. I'll show you over here. Her little shelves are a little bit tinier because she's, well, got smaller feet and, of course, smaller shoes. So, anywhere you'd go, usually as soon as you get into the house, that's what you would see. Let's continue on down the hallway here into the bathroom. Okay, you can see we have a pretty contemporary bathroom here. Almost everything you see inside the bathroom here is actually from IKEA. Okay, we've got our carpet right here, our little towel holder. We've even got a nicely organized medicine cabinet. The medicine cabinet in Japan is a little bit rare. I'm not saying it's not at, a couple houses here and there, but as far as 4 different places I've lived in since I've been in Japan, I have only had one this time, the very first time I've had one. Anyway, let's continue into our little bathroom. For the bath, we've got our shampoo, body wash, our shaver, and some crazy clear salt stuff for my wife. And over here we've got an actual shower head tall enough for someone who's 180 centimeters. Or, 5'11" for you Americans? Okay, down here we have our tub. It's great. You can take a relaxing bath. It turns pretty much almost into a jacuzzi at some points. And over here is how you actually control all that. Watch, it even talks. Says stuff. Uh-huh. Oh, really? Okay. Let's turn that all off. I don't know what I've just done. I might have totally destroyed our bathroom at this point. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Anyway, continuing down the hallway here, we've got the master bedroom. Okay. You can see we have a brand new little crib here. This one is an extra crib for the baby, because sometimes he needs to sleep here, sometimes he needs to sleep in his own room. It just all depends on how much he's crying. And over here, this is actually a pretty big window in the back, which is pretty rare in most Japanese houses or apartments. We have it covered up because this is the master bedroom. Over here, you have my super psychotically organized closet. You can see I have what I call the Tim Burton sections of shirts here. That's my Tim Burton style. And, I got a lot of outdoor style there, mixed with a lot of black, dark colors. I've started to become way too Japanese and started collecting paper bags from places I shop like Muji. You know you're getting way too Japanese when you start to do that. You got scarves, ties, and loads of different backpacks, satchels, etc., etc. You'll find you'll want a different array of them, as there will be many times you have to walk, travel, and carry quite a bit. Up here we have my hat collection, everything from bowler caps to baseball caps, etc., etc. And over here we have all different types of accessories put into order. For example, this one alone is just scarves. Yes, I'm that psychotic about ordering my stuff. And this one's all sunglasses, just to give you a preview of how much I organize. Over here we have neck warmers and headbands, and over here t-shirts that are only for sleeping in. That's a bit psychotic, I know. Anyway, let's continue on with our tour. Alright, continuing on, we have our extremely minimalist and Spartan bathroom. Over here you can tell we tried to keep it as simple as possible. Why? Because it makes cleaning as simple as possible. Right here we have our control panel. This lets you do everything from spray jets of water up your butt to even play music and all kinds of crazy stuff while you're going to the bathroom. I don't know why you'd want to do that. We've got our normal toilet there. That's your sensor right there that actually can tell if you're sitting there or not, so that it doesn't just start squirting water up at no one. Yeah. Okay, I don't think there's much else I can say about that. Alright, let's go ahead and continue on into the living room. So now we're entering the part of the house that probably my wife and I are the most proud of because we spent the most time customizing. And this is actually the living room. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look in here. Leave the hallway and the Genkan behind. And behind you is my gorgeous living room. Wow. Until you reach top line. It's because what 3 stories high with mufflers made of steel. And when we board, I sit outside. My living room. Shut up. Said Superman had come to town to see who he could rock. Okay, so over here you have the door that we just came through, and I have it closed, obviously for lighting purposes and to give you guys the best video I can. And as you can see here, the kitchen is the first room you enter, and it is part of a living room because the whole thing is a great room. We've got all our lighting sources from IKEA, we've got our kitchen from a place that specializes in kitchens. We have the whole thing custom made as far as choosing everything from the handles, the color of the doors, what kind of metal we used on the sink, even down to what kind of stove we had. We definitely wanted to stick with this type because it's a lot less messier and much easier to clean. We got a bunch of doors up here added as well. This part over here is actually the old kitchen that was in the house, and we had it covered to try and match the color of this part, which it did pretty well. I'd have to say that came out pretty much as good as you could hope for. Over here we have our chairs and our table from a place called Tsukasa, which I don't know if that's in other countries, but it's here in Japan, and it's pretty modern, stark minimalist furniture, which we prefer. Same with our couch from the same place. This baby was quite a bit to wait for. We had to wait over 4 months for this thing because we had it custom made as far as color, what shape it's in, how big it is. We even had to choose all the colors and patterns for every single pillow. I guess that was fun to do, but waiting 4 months for a couch is not fun to do. Over here we have my whole new computer rig and setup. You can see now I work off of desktop. I don't do the whole laptop thing anymore because I've been trying to improve the quality of pretty much all the art and videos I make. This is my whole workstation here. Tons of Copic markers. These are actually kanji pens, a series of different colored kanji pens, which I love to use. We have an entire stamp making set over here that let you carve different rubber stamps out. These tools actually are for Gundam. I don't know, can you see that there? It actually says Gundam marker, and that lets you color Gundam with special silver colors, gold colors, add all those extra lines you see on really detailed Gundams. You can use it for that, but it actually has multiple purposes, so I keep them there with all my art supplies. Here we have a lot of other stuff. I have all different types of organized special weighted pens and pencils that I use because I am very, very serious when it comes to my art. Even got myself a little lamp there to help with my eyesight when drawing. Over here we've got the laptop, we've got my iPhone charging. Down here you see this little strange red sphere, I should say cylinder, and it's aroma scent therapy thing. I don't know how all that works, that's my wife's thing. Anyway, let's take a look at what we got in these drawers here. This is our book collection. You can see it is all different types of Japanese and English and American titles. Okay, we've got a big collection there. We share and share alike. Over here we have my and my wife's manga collection. Okay, got some 20th Century Boy there. All different types of scary manga, which obviously I'm the one who reads that. Over here we've got Chicken George from Juyonsai, and of course all the Juyonsai novels. Okay, final door. Let's take a look at what we've got. The game collection, okay, PS3 only, sorry other consoles. DVDs, which in Japan are outrageously expensive, usually costing anywhere from, what, 2,500 yen to 4,000 yen? Outrageous. Okay, Brotown series, we've got lots of CDs, which only my wife buys, I do not buy at all. We've got the Big Lebowski box set, one of my wife's favorite movies, and a bunch of knickknacks. Great, super. And here we've got all different types of wiring. We keep all our controllers organized, even all the wires and cameras that could possibly connect to the PS3, because I am a psycho when it comes to organizing. Anyway, let's continue on. One last thing I should show you on this whole setup here is at the top, all different types of decorations that we put up here. Some very sentimental, which I won't go into great detail over, but hold a special place for both me and my wife. Anyway, let's continue on. One thing I should get a little more detailed about here is what's inside the kitchen. We've got our rice cooker here, which I'm not sure if you can even buy one in the States, but all this thing does is only cook rice. It's amazing. It makes the rice taste amazing, leaves it with a great texture. If you can possibly get one in America and you love rice, I highly suggest it. Something else you might find that is a little bit rare in most Japanese houses and apartments is a dishwasher, but not your typical dishwasher. Yes, here in Japan, they're very, very tiny. Alright, over here we have our refrigerator. Okay, our refrigerator is above average size. It has 2 different freezing departments and 1 refrigerator department, which is rather large for Japan. I know this doesn't look big for Americans, but this is big for Japan. Anyway, let's continue on. Alright, this is probably the most boring room in our house. We don't know what to do with this room, it's obvious. We've got our Christmas tree up here. We've got a collection of tiny little malformed Gundam. We've got a picture of the late Uri-chan and a little snow globe. A TV we never use. The cat's food, and a little bit of a surprise here. Let's take a look. Hello. This is Yuki. Yuki, hello. Oh, so nice. Oh, sure. Okay. You're done being a star. Get out of here. The baby room. Yes. This is my baby's room. He probably has a room larger than most mansion-size apartments in Japan. He's got a little bit of everything. You've got the mobile seat here, and the giant bed that's way too big for a newborn baby. The special diaper trash bag. I don't know if that's really important to show. And this is the chair we use in order to feed him, nurse him, etc., etc. And we pretty much call this the blue room, the blue baby room. I don't know how it came about, but everything we found for this room was blue. We knew he was going to be a boy, and so we just decided that was okay, I guess? Who knows? Anyway, well guys, that's my house. If you have any questions about anything you saw today, as I always say, feel free to write and I will try my best to answer your questions. Is this a place that most of you will have when you get here? Probably not. I'll answer that one right now. A place like this is ultra expensive. We actually purchased this place. This is not renting. So our setup is a little bit different. If you want to look into all the ins and outs of purchasing a place, I suggest you go ahead and check out my video on doing that. I'm not going to try and explain it here, and since there's a video, if you ask me a question or send me an email, I'm just going to refer you to the video. Other than that, I'm Unrested. This is my house. I will see you next time on JFAQ.